No, not right now. In December in the Octagon, it will be.
Grant Ralph from the Canadian Press.
George, I wanted to ask you, the fact that there's a lot more smack talk in the UFC, your thoughts on that? Because you don't get involved in that. I'm wondering, from your perspective, is that something that's needed in the game right now?
It's needed for some guys like Josh Koscheck. It's not needed for a guy like me. I'm very skilled. I can make the fight interesting, and I don't need to smack talk to sell a fight. You know, just by showing up and showing the Octagon my display of skills and my fighting, the fight will be interesting. I don't need to trash talk. Trash talk, it's fun to promote a fight. It's a good thing. Some fighters, they need to trash talk to promote their fight, because otherwise the people doesn't give them enough attention, because it's kind of boring sometimes when they fight in the ring. Everybody has a different style. Me, I'm from a traditional martial art background, and the first thing you learn in martial art is the respect. So I give up the respect to every my opponent. And even if my opponent disrespect me, I still always respect him, because I don't want to go down to this level. Also because I have an image to provide as a champion and as a well-spoken person for the sport.
Any other questions? Just first over there.
Do you use Twitter?
I do sometimes. I'm not a very technological guy. I would say I'm not born at a good time. I should be born a few hundred years ago in the battlefield. No, I'm kidding. I start getting into it. I'm not big into, you know what I mean? Like I use it sometimes, but I know I've been criticized in the past. I'm more of, like a old-fashioned guy. You know, like the good old ways of communication.
What's your Twitter site? Do you have one?
It's
George St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre, yes. Anyway, I don't. It's very rare. My manager tried to put pressure on me to tweet more, but it's hard, you know. It's very hard for me. I don't sometimes have enough time in 24 hours to do everything I want to do, plus tweeting too and things like that. It's hard.
Thank you.
Question right in the front here.
Being at the top of your game, what keeps you motivated to seek new avenues to continue to progress as an athlete?
What keeps me motivating? I always have motivation. To explain that to you in my own word is, first, a long time ago, before I got into the business of mixed martial art, I wanted to be a professional fighter in mixed martial art. And I did. I became a professional fighter. I started fighting in a local show back in Montreal. When I became a professional fighter, I wanted to be known as one of the best, and to be known as one of the best, I needed to fight in UFC. UFC is the most prestigious organization. And I did. I became a UFC fighter at the age of 22 years old. And after I was in UFC, I fixed another goal higher. I wanted to be UFC world champion. And after maybe 1 year, not 1 year. 1 year I had a title shot, I lost. Like a year and a half or 2 years, I became UFC world champion. So I achieved my goal. And now that I'm UFC world champion, I have to fix another goal higher to keep myself motivation.
What is that?
My goal is to be known as the best pound for pound of all time, undisputed pound for pound of all time in the sport. And now I consider that I have not reached that goal yet. And to reach that goal, to pursue my goal, I would have to keep fighting again. And every champion have these fights that make themselves a great fighter because of their highlight, And I see the sport, when you talk about sport of mixed martial art, that's when the artistic part comes into play. It's some of those fights that the great champion wins by a beautiful technique, a beautiful display of either striking or grabbing. I want to have some of those highlights and some of those fights in my career. That's what I want to do. And of course, you have the name. You have to be the best guys also in the sport. I'm not fighting. Of course, the money is there, the fame. But when I started fighting back then, it was no money and no fame. So it's important you keep fighting for a good reason. Of course, now it's the security of me and my future. It's important. But I'm always fighting for my goal, and my personal goal are the most important thing. One day, if I reach my personal goal, and it's all finished, I'm going to have to find another goal higher, or just go to something else in my life.